keep giving. You got to keep living. Living the life. You got to keep living. You got to keep giving. Living the life. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Every day I try to do what's right. I still do things that are wrong. Sin inside me, test me day and night. Gotta keep on striving till I've overcome. Keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Witnessing the light. Many crossroads we come to in our life. Do we take the higher path or just continue on? Resist temptations, be there to sin. Eternal life awaits in the end. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Witnessing the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Witnessing the light. Let go of selfishness. Must be done with the Father's self. Suffering and sorrow brings you closer to God. He is the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Witnessing the light. You got to keep giving. You got to keep living. Living in the light. You got to keep giving. You got to keep living. Witnessing the light. You got to keep walking in the light. You got to keep talking in the light. You got to keep giving in the light. You got to keep living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Witnessing the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Witnessing the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Witnessing the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth. Living in the light. Gotta keep on living in the light of the truth.
All right. All right. We are back. My name is Shamsuf Arif. My administrator, the administrator of the show, not mine, the administrator of the show, Sonia Maisha, simply my wife, she keeps the show in alignment. And Brother Cottrell, our friend and brother, elder on the council from New York City, helps to felicitate the studies that we're about to delve in tonight. I know you heard that beautiful music, Living in the Light. Do you know what that light is? Brother Cottrell, by virtue of his study, showed us what that light is. A lot of you say, I'm in the light, I'm in the light. You know, oh, you really are the light. I'm in the light, you upset about me. I'm in the light shining on me. Is that right? But do you know what that light is? Are you just having some old cliche? That light, by our study, we found out is wisdom and understanding. So are you living in wisdom and understanding? Are you simply giving lip service to it? Praise the Most High. We're grateful to be back to share with you these studies on the Real Talk for Real People show. And before I introduce my Isha Nasanya, the administrator of the show, and our friend, Brother Cottrell, from New York City to help facilitate these studies, I want to give praise and thanksgiving. I like to give praise and thanks to the Most High for my one of my sisters. They took her off the ventilator. Praise the Most High. She's breathing on her own after a major surgery. And all praises and glory be to the Elohim. I'd like to thank the Most High for my family, and I consider Brother Cottrell our family. I'd like to thank the Most High for our friends, and we do consider Brother Cottrell and his family our friends, as we all should be, truth be told. I'd like to thank the Most High for the platform that we study the Most High on, the Real Talk for Real People study show, where we delve into the information at hand, and we do our due diligence, and we give critical analysis in our assessment using wisdom and understanding. Also, I'd like to thank the Most High for my health. I'd like to thank the Most High for having my soul restored for his name's sake. And definitely, I want to thank the Most High for my Isha Nasanya. I'd like to thank the Most High for every aspect and a component of my life. I'd like to thank the Most High for perhaps restoring my soul for his name's sake. And I'd like to ask the Most High to forgive me of all my iniquities. As King David once said, I will concur with him when I make this request. My iniquity are numerous than the hairs on my head, and I'm lower than a worm. It's true. Praise the Most High and bless his holy name. So without further ado, let me bring my Isha on, and then Brother Cottrell on, and we'll proceed forward in these studies. Nasanya, your mic is hot.
Thank you, Yom Su. Shalom, shalom, family. All praises to the Holy One of Israel. I am thankful. I'm thankful for all aspects of my life. I'm thankful for my husband. I'm thankful for my children. I'm thankful for my sister-in-law coming through her recovery. I'm just thankful to be alive because around us, so many people have lost their lives during this hurricane weather or tornado weather, whatever we got going on. And I'm just thankful. I'm thankful to be here another day. All praises. Hallelujah.
Thank you, Nasanya. All praises. Praise the Most High. Brother Cottrell, your mic is hot.
Shalom, shalom, family. Bless y'all, my soul, and all that's within me. Bless his holy name. Give all praise, honor, and glory to the Holy One of Yisrael, our Creator, the Elohim of Abraham, Yischat, and Yisrael, our ancient fathers, whom the Most High loved, and thanking him for his love for them and his love for us. So many things to thank Yah for this gift of life that he's given us for, especially for the light of wisdom, because everybody ain't got that light of wisdom, and he's introduced it to us, which means that he is with us, and I thank him for being with us. And so many things to thank him intricately for my life, but I thank him for y'all. Yam Su for all these, Sister Nasanya, my nation, my family. I could be here forever, giving praise and honor to my friend, my father, my king. Praise Yah. I love
Praise
you.
Yah. Thank you, brother. We're very appreciative. And praise the Most High. So, Nasanya, if you're ready to proceed, Yum Super is ready to proceed in the studies.
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Thank you, Nasanya. Brother Katria, if you're ready to proceed, I'm ready to proceed in the studies.
No doubt.
Thank you, Brother Katria. I pray that you fellow students out there are ready to proceed because we are about to proceed. Turn to chapter 31 of Job. And you got to like this brother. This brother straight on down, straight up. Ain't nothing phony about this brother. And you know why I know that ain't nothing phony about it? You all know too, when he makes this statement. I've made a covenant, a contract with my eyes. Why then should I look upon a young woman? So what he's basically saying is this. I made a contract that don't look at nothing they mind. These young women, a lot of us ain't made a contract with our eyes. Ooh, boy, she look good. She could be married, single, 8 children, ain't got nothing but some of us are stuck on stupid. Because I made a contract with my eyes. And when should I look upon a young woman? You shouldn't look upon women, certainly married women, and you certainly shouldn't look upon women that are engaged to someone else. And you certainly shouldn't look upon women just for the sake of looking upon them. Job said, I made a contract with mine. I ain't looking at women like that. And that's how we all should be. I see them, they're good looking, that's about that. I ain't lusting. I ain't trying to help none of their mind. I certainly ain't trying to, a brother ain't got to worry about me looking at this woman. I don't want nothing nobody else got. You ain't got to worry about Yum Soup. I don't want nothing nobody else got. And that's how your mind ought be, like Job said. And if you look upon a woman, it should be with lust. It should be looking for a helpmate. She look good and everything, but I'm looking for a helpmate. How can she help the progress? And so Job make reference to this. Let me reread that. Y'all think I'm lying. Job said, I made a contract with my eyes. Why then should I look upon a young one? What am I looking at them for? Job said, I'm not looking at them for the wrong reason. I'm looking at them for the right reason. I can appreciate their beauty. I sure ain't gonna look at no man's wife and lust it up and covet no man's wife. And if I look upon a woman, when I was single, I looked upon her to put some papers on, like Al Green said, put it on paper. That's what Job says in so many words. I looked at her put on paper. And the inheritance of the Almighty and the inheritance of the Almighty on high, as a result of my action, as far as these women are concerned, for an inheritance of, an inheritance of the Almighty from on high. So he said, my inheritance basically is from the Almighty on high. And let's go back up to that. He said in verse 2, for what is the allotment of Yah from above? Let's get some clarification. What is the allotment of Yah from above? An inheritance of the Almighty on high. What is my allotment? First, he went to a physical explanation about the way he comported himself as far as women are concerned. And then he went to a spiritual component. And he asked the question, what is the allotment of Yah from heaven, from above? An inheritance of the Almighty on high. And in verse 3, is not destruction for the wicked and disaster for the workers of iniquity? He's speaking from a human perspective. And in verse 4, does he not see my ways and count all my steps? That's true, Job. And in verse 5, if I walk with falsehood, or if my foot has hastened to deceit. In verse 6, let me be weighed on honest scales. Now, if I did something wrong, let me get an honest evaluation. Not based upon you so-called friends. You don't have an honest evaluation because you don't have all the information. So how can you judge me? So Job says, if I was false, or if my foot hastened to deceit, let me be weighed on honest scales. And man don't have honest scales. The Most High does. And we weigh people by the weight of the Most High. That Yah may know my integrity. And he makes reference to that. In verse 7, Job says, if my step has turned from the way, or my heart walk after my eyes, I lust after these women, some folks' wives. Okay? Or if any spot adheres to my hand. And in verse 8, then let me reap what I sowed, if that's the case. Yes, let my harvest be rooted out, because that's what's going to happen. Job knew that, but do you know that? Oh, it looks fine on the outside, easy like breathing, but you got to pay for what you do, good, bad, and or ugly, and you better believe it. Job is attesting to this fact. If that were the case were he, and in verse 9, and he goes back to the women issue. If my heart has been enticed by a woman, meaning if I lusted after her in my heart, that girl got a big booty. Big booty in the smell. She looks so good. I wish I had her, although she's married to somebody else. Ooh, that girl got a big behind and a smile. Well, I got a wife. I shouldn't be looking like that. Ooh, she got a big behind and a smile, but I ain't trying to marry her. I'm just trying to get me some. See, Job had said that. I ain't that kind of brother. Number one, I ain't lusting after no man and wife. Number two, I don't want nothing they mine. And number three, if I'm looking at her, I'm looking at it for the right thing, like Al Green said, put it on paper. That was Job said, if my heart has been enticed by one, or if I lurk at my neighbor's door, lusting after his wife, coveting his wife, if you're a woman, being coveted by, you coveting somebody else, folks. Job said, I didn't covet nothing. I didn't want nothing. I said, I don't want nothing nobody else got. Job said, or I lurked at my neighbor's door and let my wife grind for another. I didn't focus on what I need to be focused on. I was so busy lusting after other folk women, distracted by other folk women, that I didn't pay no attention to my own woman. And then let my wife grind for it, and she put in work for somebody else. And let others bow down over it and let somebody put in the work on her. For that would be wickedness. If I focus on everybody else folk and then focus on my folk, well, my folks is in, and she's in need because I didn't focus my attention what's in her best interest. I got my mind on other folk. I'm looking at my neighbor, though, people in his window, looking at his folk. I'm lusting after every woman to come to the grocery store. I'm lusting after everything but the right thing. Yo, so I didn't do that. I put in the work on my wife. And certainly he did. He had all them children. I ain't knocking Joe. He said, I put in the work as far as my wife is concerned. So she don't have to let others bow down over her. For that would be wickedness. And yes, it would be an iniquity to deserve it. If I didn't put in the work for my wife and vice versa, then it would be iniquity on both parts, man and a female. In our wife. You got to put in the work for your own folk. Worry about other folk. That's what Job is saying. A lot of y'all worry about other folk, and you ain't putting in no work on your own folk. Job said, I didn't do that. And that would be deserving of judgment. In verse 12. For that would be a fire that consumes to destruction. It's going to start something. It's going to start something. It will root out all my increase. It's going to start something. If I'm worried about somebody else's wife and a female and a other husband, I can't put in the work for my own folk. And will root out all my, whatever I put in the work for what I got with my wife and her husband, I'm going to lose. Because I got my focuses on the wrong thing. I didn't do that. I wasn't looking at folks, those people, and they went at their wives. And if I looked at a female, it wasn't for the wrong reason. And if I did look at a female, she looked so good to me, I put her on paper like Al Green said. And I put my interests in that. I put in the work on that. And Job says, if I have despised the cause of my males or female, if I treated my servants wrong, if I mistreated, abused, and dominated my trade and treat me in any old messy, old tacky old way, when they complain against me, in verse 14, what then should I do when Yah rises it up? What am I going to say when I mistreat folks that work for me? You can't mistreat folks that work for you. A lot of y'all stuck on stupid. A lot of y'all Hebrews out there got brothers and sisters work for you. Treat them old mess, old tag, go away. That ain't going to work. And says, because y'all ride, and what then shall I do when y'all ride, when y'all comes? Why you treat your brother and a sister like that? Why you treat your male servant and men servant like that? And you know you dead wrong. We better be cognizant of these things, these matters, living in the light. When he punishes, y'all will punish. How shall I answer him? It don't matter what Yamshu thinks about it, how you comport yourself, but it matters to the Most High how you comport yourself. And in verse 15, Job said, did not he who made me in the womb make them? The same person that made me in my mama's womb is the same one that made my servants. And I got to treat my servant like the Most High treated me. The Most High looked after me in my mother's womb. He looked after them in their mother's womb. How the audacity of me to mistreat, abuse, and dominate them? He said, did not the same one fashion us in the womb? Did not Yah fashion us in the womb? Did not the same one? Did not Yah do that? So why or how can I mistreat my brothers and our sisters, or anyone for that matter? That's the common denominator. And in verse 16, Job says, if I've kept the poor from their desire, I didn't stop folk from getting something. I didn't stop folk from doing something. I didn't get them folk wait to eat, to take care of their bills. I'm in the way. Here, my messy behind, all in folk wait. Job said, if I kept the poor from their desire and caused the eyes of the widow to fail, I didn't even try to help the widow. I didn't try to even get no eyeglasses or help her get rid of cataract. I'm just saying the way. I'm just old messy old brother. Job said, I wasn't a messy old brother. I didn't cause the eyes of the widow to fail. I didn't put in no work to hurt her. I eat my morsel. I didn't hide my. When I had something to eat, everybody ate. Job said, when I had something to eat, everybody ate off the plate. Job said, I didn't hide my food. Everybody ate. And that's how we all be. You know why we all be like Job, living in the light? Because y'all said, you see my man Job there? He's a righteous man. That's good enough for me. Share with what you got. Stop being selfish and self-centered. That doesn't work for you. That's works on you. And so that the fatherless could not eat of it?
And Yamsuf,
Yes.
not to interrupt you, but he has a testimony as to what he's done.
Exactly.
So he's not just saying things and not backing it up by the actions that he hasn't taken, because some people think they're righteous and haven't done anything. He has a resume.
You ain't lying, brother. You ain't lying. You can say
You have
that
to have a
again.
resume when you stand up for your own defense. You have to say, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that, I avoided this, I avoided that. You have to have a resume.
Hallelujah, Carter. You said a mouthful, my brother, my friend, and it's all good. It's gravy, as we call it down south. It's gravy because it's the truth. Praise Yah. And Job says, so that the fathers in verse 17 could not eat of it. But from my youth, Job says, I reared him as a father. I took care of folk. Folk ain't got nothing. From my youth, I reared him as a father. I wasn't a fair weather kind of person. I was on point. And from my mother's womb, I guided the widow. I came out thinking like that. I came out with my mind on that, helping folk. Not mistreating, abusing, and dominating, sometimes killing, writing a rap song about it. Job says in verse 19, if I have seen anyone perish for lack of clothing, I didn't sit around. I didn't say, oh, they ain't got nothing. No, that's so bad. Them little children so hungry. Let me take my portion in the closet and so eat it. Oh, that widow, she can't even hide away because she can't even see nothing. I got a little money in my pocket, but she don't need no glasses. I need my money. Come on now. Any poor without covering, Job says in verse 19. And in verse 20, if his heart has not blessed me, if he was not warm with the fleece of my sheep, I did for folk. I didn't talk about it like we don't talk about it on the Real Talk for Real People study show. Brother Cottrell and I, we just don't talk about it. We be about it. I've been witness to what Brother Cottrell has done. And I suspect he's been witness to me. We don't just talk about how much we love each other. We show we love each other by virtue of how we comport ourselves within the confines of each other and what we can and cannot do for one another. We don't just simply talk about it. If anybody has a right to study in a study show on a Real Talk for Real People show, Brother Cottrell and I do, because we're simply not lip service, and we don't want nothing from you. And Job says in verse 21, if I raise my hand against the Father, get your little stinking behind with me. I ain't got nothing for you, little boy. A lot of y'all do that. And when I saw I had help in the gate, I had folk go along with me. Brother Cottrell, we conjoined to help things go. When you do good and you see good, you got a good brother, you join in the help. I joined in with Cottrell in endeavors. And the only reason I joined on him with the inner prison industry, because it traumatizes me. I share this information with our brothers, but as I always said, Yum Suf, you should live in the Badlands. Yum Suf, you should live in them 4-star with bars. And so when I see my brothers and sisters in those environments, I'm traumatized. I'm stressed. And so I try to help Brother Cottrell if he asks for help from a distance. But not because I don't love them, it just traumatized me. And I'm affected by it. But I help in any kind of way he want me to help him. But I just don't try to delve into it as Brother Cottrell delves into it. Because Brother Cottrell, I tell you, there's no shame in my game. What I used to do and what I'm doing is two different things. But I will help my brothers and sisters any kind, shape, form, or fashion I can.
Y'all so
yes, brother.
Stop it, man.
Okay, I'll stop, Brother Cottrell.
Stop it. Because
thank you.
Wasn't you giving that brother some money in the prison even before I started?
I didn't want to talk about that, Cottrell.
All right, so you ain't that traumatized, bro.
Well, okay.
I was connected with that brother way before I was even involved with the prison system.
Yeah.
And you have been involved with him for a long time.
Exactly. I'll do it again for somebody else, Brother Cottrell.
Stop it, man. Stop.
Okay. I'll stop, Brother Cottrell. And he says, in verse 22, Job says, if he done all these things, he said, let my arm fall from my shoulder. And let my arm be torn. If I've done all these things, it's no good for me to have these arms. I can't help nobody. Let them fall from my shoulder. Let my arm be torn from the socket. Why? In verse 23, for the instruction from Yah is a terror. Job said, the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, not because I'm scared of Yom Sufari, not because I'm scared of Nasanya, not because I'm scared of Cottrell, because I'm scared of Yah. And I don't want to do that. I want to do everything humanly possible to help my brothers and sisters when I can and how I can. Praise the Most High. And he says, and because of his magnificence, I cannot endure. I can't put up, my arms too short to box with Yah. Certainly if you take them out my socket. And in verse 24, Job says, if I made gold my hope, or said to the fine gold, you are my, if I put my trust in gold and things like Donald Trump and Elon Musk, if I made them my hope, they're like these people. Job says in verse 25, if I rejoice because my wealth was great, I'm something special. That's what Job said. If I thought myself something special, I didn't. And because my hand had gained much, I didn't think I was anything special. And in verse 26, if I have observed the sun when it shines, or the moon moving in brightness, so that my heart had been, if I looked at these objects, these human objects, these, and from a human perspective, and see these objects made by Yah. If I looked at these and would focus on these objects made, and I was secretly enticed, and I wanted to worship the moon, worship the sun, and so on and so forth. So that's what he's saying, that my heart had been secretly enticed, that they were so magnificent. If I looked at the magnificence of the sun when it shines, or the moon moving in its brightness, and I was enticed to worship these, and my mouth has kissed my hand, this would be an iniquity deserving of the judgment. I'm not looking for anything that the Most High created and make a dollar, an idol out of it. I'm not looking for anything that the magnificent Most High has created and be enticed by it and make an idol out of it, unlike some of us. And so, for I would have denied Yah who is above. Bingo, point blank. I don't look at what the Most High created. Oh, the sun is so magnificent. The moon is so beautiful. I think I worship it. Not asinine and foolish. Job said, I wouldn't entice because I understood the Creator made these. That's why they're so beautiful in it. But I'm not distracted by that. Unlike some people in contemporary times and ancient times too. And in verse 29, if I rejoice at the destruction of him who ate, if somebody, let me try to break it down for y'all like you're 4 years old. If somebody hated me, there are some people hate me, and I've had a parade because they hated me. I gave a parade. Oh, they dead. Long live the dead person that hate me. Job said, I didn't do that. Job says, here's what he said. He says, if I rejoice at I don't rejoice at my enemy. When the Most High knocks sock soul to him, I'm not having a parade. And you shouldn't have a parade either when the Most High sock soul to your enemies. And Job said, have I rejoiced at the destruction of him who hated me? Or I lifted myself up when evil found him? I said, I didn't do that. I let the Most High deal with him. That's that on that. I'm done with it. He out the way, and that's good. I'm out the way. I didn't lift myself up and say, I'm something special because the Most High destroyed my enemy. No, that's not what he's saying. He said, I didn't rejoice over the death of someone that hated me, and nor did I lift myself up with pride, as if that in itself makes me something special. And so, yes, brother.
We kind of saying that now
Mm-hmm.
with the destruction that's going on down south with those tornadoes and flooding and all that.
Right.
A lot of people are being wiped out.
Right.
There ain't no time to rejoice. It's like a time to ponder and look at
Right.
how destructive Yah could be when he exacts judgment. When he exacts judgment.
Exactly, Cottrell. You said a mouthful, brother, is always good, and it's gravy. And you know what, brother Cottrell? That's what's wrong with a lot of us now. We see people in dire straits, and we think we lift ourselves up like we something special. Job said, I didn't do that. He said, it is what it is. It did what it did, and ain't nothing special about me. I ain't got nothing to say about that. And all of our attitude should be about that as far as our enemies are concerned, brother Cottrell, those that hate us. We shouldn't be having a parade. Long live the folk dead. And I'm something special. No, Job said, that's what the Most High, that's his work. I ain't nothing special. I'm going to get out the way. That's what we all should be doing, Cottrell, humbling ourselves. And so, in verse 30, indeed, I have not allowed my mouth to sin by asking a curse on it. So, Y'all said, I didn't curse their souls. I didn't curse the souls of people that hated me. That's too, you really think you something special. The only thing I said in that regard, as far as the Most High is concerned, I said, bless those that bless me, Most High, and curse those that curse me. I didn't say that. I don't say their souls. And you shouldn't either. Job said, I didn't ask for a curse on his soul. If the men of my tent have not said, who is there that has not been satisfied with his meat? If there's anybody around me that know me, that close confine with me, who is there that has not been satisfied with my meat? Who I didn't feed? Who I didn't break bread with? We need to learn how to treat folk. He said, I broke bread with him, and can't nobody say I did it. And in verse 33, if I've covered my transgression as Adam, you know how Adam tried to cover his transgression? He seemed to know about Adam. I don't know how he know about Adam, but you know how Adam, when the Most High came down and Adam tried to blame it on the woman tried to blame it on the serpent. Serpent looked around and he did blame it on everybody. So he said he didn't cover his transgressions. He said, I don't cover, when I do wrong, I don't cover it up. You know what? He's just like our King David. King David, anytime you brought something to King David, he may have forgotten what he did, wasn't thinking about what he did. But when you broke it down to King David, you dirty. King David said, oh, that would be Sheba fault. She shouldn't have came up on that root bug naked. That's the Hittite fault. You should have got naked with him when I brought him back. No, you know what King David said when the prophet came to him? You dirty King David. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. He rent his clothes. He threw ashes and dust upon his head, sackcloth. He humbled himself before the Most High. He confessed his iniquities. And yes, his son still died, but he had another beautiful son with Bathsheba because he made things correct. Bathsheba became his wife. And he had a son called King Solomon. The Most High has love and compassion if you do what's right, not if you continue to do what's wrong. But in reference to Job said, I don't cover my transgressions by hiding my iniquity in my blood. Just because I don't think nobody else see it, it ain't gonna be seen. That was Job said. Just because I don't think nobody see it, it ain't gonna be seen. It's gonna be seen, and the Most High sees all. And he said, why? He said, did I hide my iniquity in my bosom? For this reason, in verse 34, because I feared the multitude, I dreaded the contempt of families, so that they keep saying, I hid all this because I feared how folks would talk and how families gonna be against me. No, that ain't his reasoning for this. He said, here's my mark. He said, here's my point of reference. Here's why I did what I did. Not because of the multitude, not because of the families per se whom I've helped, or people putting lip service on me. He said, oh, that the Almighty would answer me. That my prosecutor had written a book, if it were true, that I would be prosecuted. And Yah is the judge. And if Yah is the judge, there's just balances. And there's a book written if I'm unjust. But he said, surely, Job says, I will carry it on my shoulder because I can't get away from it. I didn't do it for the multitude of people. I didn't do it for the families per se. I did what I did because of Yah, the great prosecutor. And bind it on me because I can't get away from it. If I don't forsake my iniquities, as King David did, as a lot of us do, Cottrell do, Yamsuf, Nasanya do, you can't keep doing what you're doing and expect different results. You got to forsake your iniquity, not hide them. Simply because Yamsuf don't know, Cottrell don't know, Nasanya don't know. Don't you think the Most High don't know? You're going to get caught up. And Job says in verse 37, this is our reasoning. This is our reasoning. I would declare to him, Yah, the number of my steps. Like a prince, I would approach him. And verse 38, if I mistreated my land, Job says, if I did something unjust to my land, and you can mistreat land, and my land cries out against me, and its furrows weeps together. Yah cares about everything. Everything. He even cares about the land. And in verse 30, Job says, if I've eaten its fruits without money, I've taken something that ain't mine. I didn't put in the work. on mine, or cause its owners to lose their life, if I cause the owners of somebody else's land to lose their lives. And in verse 40, then let the thistle grow instead of wheat. I didn't put in work. I just laid on my hand thinking I'm something special. And wheat instead of barley. If I mistreated the land, if I tried to take something from somebody else's land, and then going back to my land, if I let thistles go, instead of wheat, and wheat instead of barley on my own land, that ain't right. It ain't right to take something that ain't yours on somebody else's land. It ain't right to mistreat your own land. And the land cries out against us. Our own land in ancient time cried out against us. And in contemporary times, it's still crying out. See, Yah cares about everything. Even when blood is spilled on the ground, murdered, the blood cries out. See, you think y'all don't see nothing. Oh, I'm going to look at other folk wife. I'm going to lust after other folk wife. I'm going to look at these women. I ain't trying to marry. I'm just trying to get me some. Well, you may get some. You may get what you ain't looking for, or get something you can't watch off. All I'm saying, do right or follow you. Yo knew this because he living in the light. Do you know this? Are you living in the light, utilizing wisdom and understanding? Praise Yah and bless his holy name. That ends the studies for the night, and we'll start back Monday, the Most High willing, with Elihu contradicts Job's friend. This young brother, but you know that's how them young folk do. Okay. All righty. Well, Nasanya, may the Most High bless you. Your mic is hot. You have the mic. Any comments or commentaries?
No. It's well put. Well put. Thank you.
Thank you, Nasanya. Brother Katria, any comments on the commentaries?
We see that Job had a lot of wisdom that was transferred to Moses and the nation of Israel. He's not an Israelite. He's like before the time of the Israelites. And a lot of the principles that he have were incorporated into our nation. They ain't laws, but he know what's right and wrong.
Exactly. And he sure knew about Adom, didn't he, Brother Katria?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Praise the Most High.
And Moses ain't have to tell him.
What's that, Brother Katria?
And it wasn't Moses who told him who Adam was.
No, he didn't. But he knew about it. All right. Thank you, Brother Katria. Thank you, Nasanya. Thank you, fellow students. That ends the studies for the night, as far as I'm concerned, but it doesn't conclude the studies. Brother Katria will continue in the studies in the book of Bereshit, whom you call Genesis, chapter 7, I believe. Yes, 7, the great flood. Praise the Most High. Oh, Lord, let me not say that right about now, Brother Cottrell. They talking about flooding down here. Okay, the great flood. Go ahead, Brother Cottrell.
Y'all got them little teeny tiny floods. The flood we talking about here covered everything.
Yep.
Everything.
Yeah, everything.
Yep. The great flood, and we ain't talking about the floods down south. We know how devastating those things can be, how awesome Yah could be with those tornadoes. And I'm sure this great flood was that multiplied 1,000,000 times.
Exactly.
In the 7th chapter of the book of Bereshit, written by the great prophet Moshe, he says, then Yah said to Noah, come into the ark. That's significant. You know why that's significant?
He gave him a choice.
No. He gave him a choice 120 years ago.
Right. When he was building. He was invited by the Most High to come into
Invited where?
Invited to come into the ark.
So where was Yah?
He had to been somewhere around. Must have been in the ark.
He was in the ark. That's why he said, come into the ark. He didn't tell him to go into the ark, right? He said,
Nope.
Bo. Bo in Hebrew means come. And it means that Yah was right up in there. And that's what we want, to walk with Yah, to be with Yah. And Yah had to be there with Noah, because Noah ain't know what was about to happen or what was going on. So Yah said, Bo, come into the ark, you and all your household, because I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. Every generation ain't so righteous. And we know in our generation, ain't too many righteous people walking around now.
Truth be told.
You shall take with you 7 each of every clean animal, a male and his female, to each of animals that are clean, unclean, a male and his female. So 7 clean animals, 2 each, mean 14 altogether, of each species that is clean, and 2 each of animals that are unclean. And there are more unclean animals than there are clean animals. And Moshe breaks down what the clean animals are and what the unclean animals are as well. The clean and the unclean. Obviously, Yah already had that scripted in Noah's time. So he knew what was clean and what was unclean. We know the pig is unclean, right?
And don't forget to tell them the lobster, the clams.
Well, they didn't have to worry about that because all that was in the waters.
Oh, okay. My bad. My bad. But they are unclean.
Yes. So eagles are unclean, buzzards, owls, falcons, can't eat those things, ducks, but they are birds that you can eat. Anyway, Yah made this distinction in Noah's time. Also, 7 each of the birds of the air, male and female, to keep the species alive on the face of all the earth. For after 7 more days, I will cause it to rain on the earth 40 days and for 40 nights. I will destroy from the face of the earth all living things that I have made. And Yah created all living things that are on the face of the earth. And Noah did according to all that Yah commanded him. It wasn't no big bang. It was Yah's creation. And now he's about to wipe it out and start all over again. Is he allowed to do that? Oh, yeah, he's the creator.
Yeah, he's young.
Noah was 600 years old when the floods were on the earth. So Noah and his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives went into the ark because of the waters of the flood. Of clean animals, of animals that are unclean, of birds, and of everything that creeps on the earth. 2 by 2, they went into the ark to Noah, male and female, as Yah had commanded Noah. And a lot of people wonder, how is this possible that all the animal species got into that ark? Nothing's impossible for Yah. And they didn't necessarily have to be fully adult animals, right? They could have been young baby animals.
Exactly.
And a lot of animals go into hibernation for months at a time. So
exactly.
Nothing's impossible for the Most High. He commanded, and it happened. And it came to pass. Yes. Oh, yeah. And everybody got a flood story around the world. All the nations of the world, ancient nations, they got this flood story. Not only do they have the flood story, but we know that from the sons of Noah, Ham's sons, Cush, Mizraim, Put, Lud, they are actual people that are on planet Earth. Praise Yah.
Praise Yah. Well, thank you, Brother Carter. That's a very in-depth study. That's rather
I finished, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Praise Yah.
In the 10th verse, and it came to pass at the 7 days that the waters of the flood were on the earth, in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, on that day, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were open, and the rain was on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. On the very same day, Noah and Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Yafat, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them, entered into the ark. They and every beast of after his kind, all cattle after their kind, every creeping thing that creeps on the earth after its kind, and every bird after its kind, every bird of every sort. And they went into the ark to Noah two by two, all flesh, in which is the breath of life. So those that entered, male and female of all flesh, went in as Elohim commanded him, and Yah shut him in. Now the flood was on the earth 40 days. The waters increased and lifted up the ark, and it rose above the earth, high above the earth. The waters prevailed and greatly increased on the earth, and the ark moved about on the surface of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly on the earth, and all the high hills under the whole earth were covered. And they say that at this point in time, the ears was called flash freezing. I don't know if you know what flash freezing is, but the higher you go in altitude, the colder the temperature gets. That's why you have snow caps on mountains. So these waters reach high above these snow-capped mountains, and as they reached higher and higher, they began to freeze. I guess they said this is why you get Antarctica and the North Pole. But these waters lifted up, and they prevailed 15 cubits upward, and the mountains were covered. All flesh died that moved on the earth, birds and cattle and beasts of every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of the spirit of life. All that was on the dry land died. So he destroyed all living things that were on the face of the ground, both man and cattle, creeping thing and bird of the air. They were destroyed from the earth. Only Noah and those who were with him in the ark remained alive. And the waters prevailed on the earth 150 days. Praise Yah and bless his holy name. That must have been some time.
Yeah, there was some time, and there was some floods, brother. And that flood remained on earth for what, 5 months? Ooh-wee.
And you know, when flood waters come, ain't nothing you could do but
wait it out
or drown, because waters are like a force that, I mean, you've seen tsunamis and things of that nature. These ain't no tiny flood waters. You're talking about tsunamis, like 50-foot high waves.
Yeah, cover the whole earth, brother.
And the rain that's coming down. We see it now. Cars get floated and things that mankind made, it just gets washed away. Bridges and houses and semi-trucks. When that water comes, it's powerful.
It is, brother.
We ain't seen it on that scale, the scale that they're talking about here.
You're right, brother. But it just shows the power of the Most High. Well, Brother Catriel and Nasanya, I don't have anything to say other than the fact that meditate on what Brother Catriel shared with you for us. These studies are going chapter 7. Meditate on them. Don't look at it in a linear study. Immerse yourself into the studies. See it out of the eyes of Noah. See it out of the eyes of his wife. See it out of the eyes of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, their wives. See out of the eyes of those animals. And see, try to get some understanding of the concept and the gravity of what they went through, and so on and so forth. And as I made mention, Job family, Job had brothers and sisters. You can't rely on your brothers and sisters all the time. They weren't in that ark. Sometimes you can only rely on the people that relies on the Most High. It's just that simple. And Yah didn't, Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth didn't go out and get animals. Animals are codified. And the Most High said, get to getting, they got to get. And it's just that. Unlike human beings, they're a whole sort of different. They think they got all the sense in the world. And it always seems to don't work out for them. These animals are humble. They listen to the code. The Most High said, get to that ark. They didn't ask no question. They said, why I got to go in the ark? Why you can't send nobody here? No, they did what they were instructed to do. We all ought to be a lot like animals in that regard, submitting ourselves to the Most High and acting according to the code and activating the code. That being said, I'm done as far as that is concerned, but I will ask Nasanya, do she have any comments or commentary in regard to what Brother Catriel shared with us?
Thank you, Yamsu. I was just making note of here at the end when not only did the people didn't survive. You know, the cattle, anything that creeps, the birds, other other than what was in the ark with Noah, everything else didn't survive. Wow.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
includes the dinosaurs, the pterodactyls, and the
Yes. All
T
of my
Rex.
straw. Yeah. All that.
Got to say that a
Wow.
comet destroyed them, but it was the flood, which is why I mentioned the flash freezing, because those animals try to run up into the mountains.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
when they ran up in the mountains, they couldn't get high enough because the waters were high above the highest mountains. And when these waters receded, these dinosaurs, with all the weight that they had, sank into the mud that was the earth, that was saturated with that water, which is why they find whole fossils of dinosaurs in the mountains today.
Brother Cottrell, you said a mouthful, brother. And it's all good. It's gravy. Praise the Most High. Lasagna, any more questions? That was a good question, Lasagna. A good
No,
statement.
it was just something that I was just had made note of. That was just like a wow moment. No.
Thank you, Lasagna. That was a good statement of fact. Any
And
more
you
statement
stated-
of fact?
You
Any more
stated
statement
something
of fact?
too.
Go ahead, Brother Cottrell.
In regards to the family of Noah and his wife had a mother, father, sister, brother, uncle, aunt, cousin, right? Noah's wife.
Family.
And
Oh,
his son's wife had uncles, aunts, cousins, brothers, sisters, aunts,
Mhm.
nephews, nieces, and only those 8 people made it. None of them
exactly.
made it. None, not one.
Not one. I'm glad you pointed that out, that addition, Brother Cottrell. Not one. Lasagna, any more statement of facts?
No, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Lasagna. Thank you, Brother Cottrell. Brother Cottrell, any closing? No, not yet. Any more additional comments on what you just shared?
I think we have enough to meditate on and even think about the flood. That was the first judgment that Yah executed on planet Earth. And we know that we in a time of the final judgment. It ain't gonna be water. We know it's gonna be this time.
Fire.
Divine fire. That kind of
Exactly.
fire that Elijah the prophet brought down and licked up everything, including the stones.
Praise the Most High.
Praise Yah.
Thank you, Brother Cottrell. Thank you, Nasanya. Thank you, fellow students. We have been humbly appreciative of the opportunity that you allow us to come into your homes to study with you. I want to thank Nasanya, a daughter of Zion, just like you daughters out there, for her due diligence and moral obligation as a daughter of Zion to do what she can, how she can, as far as what she can, as far as this nation is concerned, by offering her administrative skills to keep this show on track. I'd like to thank Brother Cottrell for his love for the Most High, his love for our people, and certainly his love for himself, because you can't love nobody else, you can't love yourself. I'd certainly like to thank the Most High for the opportunity to present these studies. But Brother Nasanya has done her due diligence. Brother Cottrell and I, we've done our due diligence. We've humbly done our due diligence. We don't think ourselves better than anyone, but we want everybody to be the best they can be under the Most High. That's why we bring these studies to you. We have done our responsibilities and due diligence as brothers, fathers, elders on the council by presenting you these studies. Nasanya, Brother Cottrell, and I can do no more in that regard. It's incumbent upon each of you to do something for yourselves. First and foremost, meditate on the word of Yah. Ask the Most High for wisdom and understanding, the light to direct and order your steps. Trust in the Most High word. Lean on the Most High word. Rely on the Most High word. Let the Most High word be your pathways, your steps, the light, utilizing wisdom and understanding. Praise the Most High. You see, the Most High word is going to work in spite of us in our irregardless. But for each of us individually, it only works if you work it. And you use the antidote. You see, simply said, for you individually, the Most High word works if you work it. Praise the Most High and bless his holy name. I will ask Nasanya to make her closing remarks and her comments. And I will ask Brother Cottrell to make his closing remarks and her comments and close it out for the week. And we'll see you, Most High willing, Monday. Praise the Most High and bless his holy name. Nasanya, you have the mic.
Shalom and good night, family. Have a great weekend. Be safe until Monday.
Praise the Most High. Shalom, Nasanya. Brother Cottrell, you have the mic.
We love you, Yah. We love you, family. May the words of our mouth and meditation of our heart be acceptable to Yah, our Creator, our Father, our King. And may he bless us and keep us. Shalom and good night. We love y'all.
We love y'all. Shalom and good night.
You are our rock, and you will be successful. These are strength and courage. Our rock, these are hope and deliverer. Our rock of refuge, there is none holy as well. There is none beside him, no one in between. There is no rock like God. He's a rock of safety to hide you. He's a cloud by day, fire by night. His law and love will guide you. He's our strength and courage. Our rock, he's our hope and deliverer. Our rock of refuge. He's our strength and courage. Our rock, he's our hope and deliverer. Our rock of refuge. The house that God built and formed by his hand. The nation Israel must now take a stand. There is no rock like God. He's your strength and he will revive you. He's your cloud by day, fire by night. His law and love will guide you. He's your strength and courage. Our rock, he's our hope and deliverer. Our rock of refuge. He's our strength and courage. Our rock, he's our hope and deliverer. Our rock of refuge. He's our strength and courage. Our rock, he's our hope and deliverer. Our rock of refuge. He's your cloud by day and fire by night. Our rock, he's your cloud by day and fire by night. Our rock of refuge. So hold on to God and take him by the hand. Our rock, and he'll give you strength and take you out of Egypt's land. Our rock of refuge. He's your cloud by day and fire by night. Our rock, he's our strength, hope, and deliverer. Our rock of refuge. He's our strength. He's our hope. He's our strength. He's our hope.